I'm Jay Diff with the New Old Heads, and this is episode 498. On this episode, we talked about more detail on Kendrick's 616 in LA's meaning with the game, Drake saying his pen ink isn't dry, the best arguments against AI in both music and society, and more. Support the show and get our uncut 2-hour episode without ads by becoming a $5 Patreon or YouTube member. Please make sure you click the bell and turn on notifications. See you in the comments.
You are now tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast. I am Maja 7. The family is in the building, starting off with my man Jay Moore. How are you, good sir?
Doing well, just trying to dodge these raindrops. You know how it goes.
I heard that, man. My man Longevity's in the building. Hey, buddy.
Howdy.
Yep, good to see you.
Yeah, thanks for asking me questions. Good to see you.
My man DJ Jay Diff. What's happening, man?
Salutations.
You good?
Great, man.
How's everything been since I seen you?
About the same. Yeah.
About the same. I'll take
man.
about the same.
About the same, man.
It's all good, man. Good to be surrounded by the fam again. Shout out to the champ in the building. Teresa's coming up soon. Kendrick says no to the game, and it's all over Drake. So TDE's Top Dog recently cleared the air about Kendrick Lamar and the game's relationship during a conversation between the company man, shout out to Justin.
It actually was with
and Stat Quo.
Shout out to Stat Quo. He actually did a mixtape with my man Cool Hand Lex from right here in the city.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so Justin and Stat were talking, and then Top Dog actually called in. So let's watch this video, and I got a couple questions.
Let me tell y'all what that call was about. Okay.
Oh yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So let me go to the chat. Make sure there's some people in here. Let me tell y'all what that call was about. That call was about Top was calling me to tell me that when these clips come out, we got to tell the whole. He said, I know you telling the whole story, but you got to tell. It got to be in the clip of the whole story because he want everybody to understand. Dot didn't just stop talking to him for no reason. After that video that dude shot in Compton, that changed everything.
The 100 video.
The 100 video. And I had spoke about that and remember I said that I told Wack and Game about that. And Top thing is like, hey, that gotta be it don't need to be perceived that Dot just stopped talking to Kendrick out of nowhere. I mean Kendrick stopped talking to Game out of nowhere. Right. That was the thing that, you know what I'm saying? That did it.
Yeah, I remember that video. Drake,
I remember that video very well.
Drake somehow found a red Toronto Blue Jays.
He sure did.
Jersey.
He seemed very comfortable / uncomfortable at that video shoot.
I completely understand that.
No, of course.
Like I was uncomfortable watching that versus. It was so much gang activity.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I would probably be uncomfortable as well.
Little skirt.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if I belong here.
So the question I pose is Kendrick being immature by not talking to the game over this video shoot? Why or why not?
It's actually layered a little bit.
I need you to please, my brother, dive in.
It's layered a little bit. So if you've seen any of those videos leading up to that one with Stat Quo and Justin Hunt, a few other things get aired out as well.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole 100 video situation, Game brought it up and decided to say, well, Kendrick did Power with 50 Cent. Mind you, when he did Power, it was a couple years after that 100 video shoot. Okay. Also, too, which is crazy.
So it just people following along. That's because Game and 50 have
Game and 50 have issues. Right. Game and 50 have issues. So Game was pretty much like, well, he did the Power show and I wasn't tripping on that. And the way he had said it was almost like he hadn't already did the 100 video. So you did the 100 video with somebody that's coming up through the ranks. Y'all handed the baton to, told him that he has the West Coast on his back.
Not at that point though, right?
That had already happened.
Really?
Yeah, that had already happened by the time that
I thought the 100 video was like 2014 or 15.
Well, when he handed the baton to Kendrick, that was before that.
Was it really?
That was before that.
Because that was a big deal on stage with everybody. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember that.
So there was already friction that's been brewing, for those that don't know. with Kendrick and Drake for a long time. This isn't nothing that happened 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This has been going on for a long time. Drake felt a certain type of way because Kendrick did the joint with what's his name, Big Shine, where he pretty much said he's everybody. I'm trying to murder y'all as a rapper, and Drake took offense to that. Then you go to the BET Cypher, and of course Kendrick is acknowledging, tuck the sensitive rapper back in his, you know what I'm saying? It's been going on for a while, but anyway, back to the conversation. I think it's more so of a tit for tat situation. I don't think it's him being immature, especially if it's your OG that's riding with somebody that I don't like, and we
bring
are
him to the neighborhood.
Yeah, you brought him to the neighborhood where I'm from as well. Although he might not have felt comfortable, he might have looked comfortable on camera.
He wasn't comfortable.
But he wasn't comfortable in those surroundings
at all.
That's kind of a, you know what I'm saying, a backslap to me, or him essentially. But they also brought up the point that the game plays the heel, and it's like he uses his power and his authority and his influence to go against the grain, so to speak. So I mean, I'm not gonna say that Kendrick is petty for this. Drake is petty the same, because even on the 100, he was addressing Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? That's what I meant by this beef has been going on for a long time.
Right.
He was mentioning Kendrick, talking about the if I went conscious, I would have all your fans. Everybody knew that reference is addressing Kendrick.
So to do all of that while you're in Compton, invited by the game, is a lot different than Kendrick doing Power.
Correct. And then it was years after. So it wasn't like this just came up.
Right.
And then even the song with, like when I was saying there's layers to it, the date stamp on that video.
6/16.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Which I missed. I completely missed.
In LA?
Yeah.
I missed it.
In LA.
Which is a whole nother entendre based upon the way Drake titles all his stuff.
Listen, and this is another thing. I have to give credit to Kendrick, because I wouldn't have figured that shit out.
Me neither.
Somebody else figured that out, and it's been going around that, but it all makes sense now.
Yep.
So when you go back and listen to 616 in LA, now it takes on a whole different meaning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, this dude is really something else.
Diabolical, bro.
Yeah. But yeah,
because I missed the 616 until
I think almost everybody
bro,
did.
but when to Terry's point, when I sat back and thought about it, I said, okay, it lines up. I went back and listened to the record. To his point, I'm like, damn, he was 10 steps ahead. I didn't even realize it.
Listen, Kendrick is in, certain fans will be like, oh, y'all reaching this, that, and other.
Mm-hmm.
No. This man, when it comes to writing rhymes and like being on top of his pen game, is on a whole nother level. I don't care if y'all want to give him credit for it or not, but yeah, I don't see it as him being petty or whatever you want to call it. I feel like he's doing exactly what needed to be done, especially if it's your OG.
Yeah.
That somebody you looked up to and knew that, you know what I'm saying, had the West on his back for a while. I feel like he owed him that much to discredit all that shit.
Jump in, Jay. What you think? Was Kendrick being immature, or it's just, him repping for where he from?
Look, as just an outsider looking in, it's immature. But as somebody who has an understanding about rap and this thing that we call hip hop culture, nah, man, this is what Kendrick does.
Yeah.
I'm not even in a position to where I'd say, oh, well, he could have just left it alone. That's not especially people. That's not what people from Compton do. I said this when we were talking about the battle. I said, look, some of y'all gonna have to learn. You're not supposed to mess with these rappers from Compton. Like, you talk about Ice Cube, you talk about MC8, you talk this DJ Quick. These are all killers as far as
game.
You talk about the game, but Game. It's hard to say anybody's ever being petty to Game when Game might be the pettiest motherfucker in it to ever hop on the microphone.
His name is The Game, which is one of the monikers that Triple H had, which was a heel in the WWE. This is all from Justin Hunt.
Yeah, good call.
And Stat Quo. They brought all of this up. So.
Good call.
I remember when, I think it was maybe the last album or maybe a couple albums ago, when Gabe just jumped out the window and decided he's going to do a whole diss song on Eminem.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, where does that come from?
And then he wondered why he wasn't able to perform at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, like,
the Eminem diss was corny to begin with.
I think that might have been, I can't remember if it was before or after.
A lot of those disses the Game did is corny.
You're right.
But the thing about it is it hasn't affected his career in a negative point of view. Like, people just look at Game like, our Game is going to be on that type of time, essentially.
Yeah. Where
that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I mean, even
he's either dissing or bigging somebody up, or name dropping,
or he's like
he's
mad,
been name dropping his whole career,
or he's mad or upset that like he was left out of something he felt he deserved to be. But you know, like you may Game is one of those people that kind of talks his way out of opportunities.
Yes.
And I don't think he's one of those people. I'm not sure if he's just not that self-aware.
I think he is, though. I think he takes the path of wanting to own being the black sheep of the industry.
You think he embraces that?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know if he does that intentionally.
Listen, he was in a very good situation with G Unit. Very good
G Unit Aftermath, the whole shit.
The ideal situation, actually. Yeah, the ideal situation.
I just now found out they were trying to shelve the documentary. Or not the documentary, but
Doctor's Advocate.
The second one.
Doctor's
Advocate.
Yep.
Because of his issues with 50 and G Unit or whatnot. And he went and recorded One Blood on his own and just put it out there.
Mm.
So they had to release it. It's almost, okay, he got a buzz. We got to let this go.
Well, I mean, because that album is not, it's weird it's called The Doctor's Advocate, considering it's not on Aftermath.
Yeah.
Like, it was a thing, and it may sound corny to some people, but it was like, look, who do you want Interscope and Dr. Dre to side with? The guy who sold 3-4 million records, or the guy who sold 11 or 12 million?
Mm-hmm.
And
has Eminem under his belt.
Yeah, so that's just
true.
So your issues with 50 Cent, basically got you out of that whole clique.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Where, if you'd have just kind of put that pettiness aside or whatever it is. I remember when it happened. It was so long ago. I think I was still living in St. Louis when all this shit happened. And I just remember thinking, like, what a blown opportunity.
Yeah.
50 really did write those hits on your album. And don't get me wrong, he came back with Dr. Zapp. He had some heat on there too that had nothing to do with 50 Cent. But I tell you what, the joints 50 hooked him up with, like, it was crazy.
There was joints on there that actually should have went to Common, but that's a whole nother story.
Went to who?
Whole nother rabbit hole.
What?
The song Dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye gave that beat to Common first.
Okay.
Common passed on it.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. But yeah.
I don't know if I think Kendrick's being immature or not. I don't know. I feel like I would need to be more privy to like
more
the
details
inside of everything. But I feel like the fact that he didn't talk about it, the fact that he didn't correct anybody about 616 LA, the fact that he didn't feel the need to unveil what any of that stuff meant, doesn't even feel like it's even being petty. It just feels like he's just like, I'm putting it out there for those that know to potentially figure out. And
we're just going to live with the results.
The only thing would be, is he petty for not addressing it with Game? But I just don't know.
Not having that conversation with him. Yeah.
I just don't know.
But are they cool like that?
I don't know.
That's
so
the question.
They're saying, so a lot of these, I watched a series of them. They're saying that there's no beef, there's no friction between them. But Kendrick's thing, his vice, is being pretty much untouchable, or you can't contact me. You can't get me on the phone like that. So that's what he does. He doesn't want to be somebody you can just call at any time.
Accessible.
You gotta accessible, exactly.
Yeah.
You gotta go through somebody, and then he has to be like, okay, I'll holler at him. That's pretty much his thing. And Game is hung up on, I just want to talk to him on the phone. And Kendrick still doesn't want to talk to him.
So maybe there
phone.
is some immaturity there.
Because I can see egos.
I can see that.
That's egos. Like, I can see two egos going back and forth for that. To Terry's point, so I can see that for sure. Yeah, I can see that for sure.
So I don't really fault him though in this situation. But it's almost like
I don't really care.
I don't that too. I don't know what his relationship with Game was exactly.
That part.
Before the whole Drake and Kendrick situation.
We don't know, so it's like all speculation.
Yeah. And it's both being from Compton.
Yeah, I don't know the details of that.
But on the surface, if you do the comparison between, all right, Game or 50 and Kendrick on Power and Game bringing Drake to Compton. That's very highly weighted in one direction. I mean, a little bit more disrespectful than the other.
I think that lands a little. Lands a little bit heavier. To your point, I agree.
And if kind of felt like maybe Game did that on purpose.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, and if Kendrick is just saying, well, all right, fine then.
Because they were also. This is crazy. This is almost like a soap opera right now because. To add another layer to the conversation, they were saying that whenever they passed the torch to Kendrick, Game wasn't really wanting to pass the torch to Kendrick.
No, he wanted the torch.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I actually could see him wanting.
And he was there.
Think about how many props he was given to people on record throughout his career. If you give that many props out, maybe you need some.
You've
props
been name dropping West Coast legends since your first album.
You brought up a good point
and
because
mixtapes.
You talk about how many names he drops as far as shout outs.
Yeah.
Anytime he said Kendrick's name, it's in a competition type. It wasn't like a diss, but it's more so a competition. Like
I'm nice too.
If somebody's gonna hold the title in Compton, it's gonna be me. Like ain't no diss to you, ain't no diss. But I'm acknowledge you, but at the same time, I'm a little bro you a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
So yeah, that's true too.
Drake says his pen's ink isn't dry. You can try him if you want to.
Drake turns Kick streamer into a 20v1 dating show, warns rap rivals his pen isn't dry. We're going to get to that. Here's Rolling Stone. On Saturday, Drake continued his ongoing forays into the world of content creators, hosting a stream on Kick, which is affiliated with Stake, the crypto gambling company Drake is partnered with, which saw the rapper fresh off the release of 3 new albums, flirting with a golf streamer, gifting out Birkins, and sending not-so-subtle warnings to the rest of the rap game, noting that his pen isn't dry. Here's a clip of what that looks like.
I appreciate all the love. I appreciate the last few months. It's been incredible for me, you know. I dropped 3 on that head top. These guys are dropping albums. It's like hello and goodbye. You know what I'm saying?
That feels like Rick Ross to me. Because Set in Stone was not set on the charts.
Saying and careful with that reply because the pen isn't dry. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, Lord.
That's what I'm on. By the way, let me pop it. Yes, double chrome bracelets. Okay. Cartier that your grandma would wear.
Such a cornball.
I don't want to say the price tag. Diamond cross on the jeans. Like, it's just really.
Drake. Hey, man, those diamond crosses on the dreams are definitely helping the bars. Shouts to Justin with the mustache, man.
Yeah. She said your granny will wear
I dig it, man.
Yeah, is that a flex?
I guess so, man.
I mean, like, once again, I may be out of that age group.
You got some chrome heart jeans on.
Oh, that's right. I have heard about those.
I'm just saying, though, man, that came off as extremely corny.
It just came off. It was Drake, man.
Yeah,
is that just who he is?
That's exactly what it came off as.
I apologize.
It's like, hey, man, you don't want the pink? Look at my clothes. You don't want the pen? Look at my clothes.
Look at my clothes and my chain.
You want this pen? It's active.
This is a chain.
Look at my clothes. Do you see how good my pen is?
Your grandmother would wear this chain.
And don't forget, I gave academics one too. So
I'm dripped out, G.
Let's not
dripped out.
Let's not talk about the price because y'all ain't ready for that.
Yo, homie, man, go sit down. All right, so I have a question.
Cambodian children have ripped the holes in my jeans.
Listen.
Hey, that's stupid.
One by one, stitch by stitch.
All right, man, look. Let me get this first one out. Long format question, but I got to get this out. So.
All right, this is going to be a challenge.
No, it's going to be.
We know how Mike is with reading.
Come on, man. Take a look. It's in the book.
Reading is what?
You remember that show?
Reading is fundamental.
Come on, LeVar Burton.
Yeah. It's because I'm black.
Yeah.
Damn. Come on, man.
All right.
Does Drake continually signal readiness for more beef help him project confidence, or does it risk keeping him stuck in the shadow of the Kendrick Lamar feud rather than establishing a fresh chapter for his music?
Okay. I'm going to start.
Do it. Rockapella.
If I was Kendrick, I would. I'm sorry. If I was Drake, I would never bring the battle up again. Like, considering what his fan base is, the people who actually rock with him, they don't even care that he lost.
They do a little bit.
I mean,
they definitely do
because they don't even think he lost.
I don't agree with that.
Okay, you're right. They don't because they don't think he lost. But at the same time, like the people who are keeping his records in the position they are on Billboard, it's not something that they care about in that way. And he's right. Like a lot of these rappers, their releases have come and gone. Yeah, Rick Ross definitely.
A$AP Rocky.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And so what he has established, whether you are a fan or not, and whether you care about these metrics or not, he is still a chart presence, regardless of him losing the battle or if you think he lost the battle.
That's his metric.
Yeah, so
he's winning his metric.
And his metric is, and what he'll say that whole shit about, oh yeah, my pen is not dry. Your pen is not what's gotten to you to where you are now.
No, it's not.
The fans, the people who hold you down, they don't care about the witty metaphors or the double entendres. They just like the fact that you can make something they can meme to or make TikTok dances to.
That's a fact.
You know, do a 20 verse 1 too.
That is what you are here to do, sir. Like, if you are still pressed about, you know, being on somebody's Mount Rushmore or top MCs, like you're focused on the wrong thing as far as what is maintaining your actual career.
Good point.
100%.
Good point. Jump in, Lone. What you think?
Yeah, I think I kind of agree with Jay. Like his fans are always going to be his fans. But if he wants to actually step out of the shadow of this, then number one, you don't drop 3 pieces of ass.
He said it was heat free head top.
I mean, well, he right, but Lone is right though.
He's
right.
head ass is what he is.
Head ass.
So no, I mean you don't drop those 3 records if you're looking to garner fans that like the stuff that is on the other side of that, like the Kendrick people, that
new fans,
or even the people that gave Drake enough grace to be like, let's see what he drops, you know. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, he did have bars on the Ice one, right?
For sure.
But it was the same song 19 times. So, you know, I don't know. I to be honest, it doesn't really matter what Drake does. But
he's in that realm.
But he's not going to gain hip hop fans, like actual hip hop fans.
Never.
From this type of behavior.
No.
Because.
And look where he's doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
He's doing it on
the Nelk Boys.
Kickstream and
with the Nelk Boys.
With all this stuff about, you know, online gambling and crypto scams and like that's not I mean, I don't know about a crypto scam, but like this just seems like something he'd be into. And it's just like you cannot do those things and still, you know, talk about your lyrical dexterity and the credibility you should have in other places where hip hop is moving and shaking. Like once again, it sounded weird because honestly it sounded weird out, but I always said this, as long as he's got women and kids, Drake will be just fine.
In the suburbs.
Like that's not
a whole lot of Jalen's.
Yeah, so
that good, you know, well played. Well,
you know, the people with the funny haircuts and the red shoes are always
the fade here, and then it's like spongy on top, like, and they're light skinned and they live in Avon.
All the dudes who look like they might get drafted into the NBA,
or even the grown kids that weren't popular in high school. They like Drake because they feel like they can identify with somebody that was popular. And start to, you know what I'm saying, take on that persona, so to speak.
Yeah. So like,
there's Drake is in a position to like, and I agree with Jay as well. He doesn't need to address any of this shit. But what makes him address it is because it hurt him.
Ego.
This whole battle and what Kendrick did to Drake at the end of the day hurt his pride.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
as well, it should have.
Yeah, he's going to come outside and shine regardless because he's Drake.
Yeah.
Again, he's Drake. He's going to shine regardless, but that hurt him in a way that he can't redeem. So he's talking about his pen isn't dry. You're talking about Rick Ross. You're talking about A$AP Rocky, who are 2 great artists but have never been mentioned in the greatest comment. They talk about Drake in the greats comment based on what he's done in the game. They absolutely talk about Kendrick in the greats conversation. Your pen is not shit against Kendrick at the end of the day. If you want to go back and forth with, you know what I'm saying, competition wise, you might want to leave that alone and just let Kendrick stay in his lane and do him and you do you.
I don't even think it's that though.
You don't?
I don't think that Drake is so far removed from Kendrick as far as when it comes down to bar for bar. I don't really think that.
It's a different type of rap though.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm on the Kendrick side here, but at the same time, like Drake, I just feel like he's just so corny. I just like the corniness is what comes out in it to me. It's not necessarily the technical, the ways that he does it. It's just like the embodiment of who he is.
He's all right, but he's not real.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
And so like even this statement here, like be wary of the pen. I mean, bro, you just dropped a record with 19 songs.
Mm-hmm. 3.
Well, he dropped
the main one.
19 songs where he was just dropping bars over and over about stuff. Like, why isn't the pen dry?
Yeah,
it should be.
I think
especially referencing that.
Yeah.
I think to me, what makes this more interesting, and I was going to kind of allude to, what his next pivot should be, if he should just focus on new records, new sounds, or whatever, versus just staying in this box or whatever. But I think it's very interesting, and we talked about a little bit of it, but the fact that the guy that is Teflon, I've always called him Teflon since we've been doing this show. The fact that it still bothers him, to me, is the more interesting point, because you have everything that you've quote unquote wanted, worked for, or looked for. And the fact that this still bothers someone that's been such of a huge pop star, that's what's interesting to me, because why should it matter if I have all the sales, I have all of everything?
Because you want the credibility.
He wants to be
so he wants
the face of hip hop. He wants, if you talk about hip hop, he wants you to see him. But unfortunately, I can't even say unfortunately, maybe that's what he wanted to do.
Okay.
He took a path of more popularity, more pop, versus actually staying true to certain hip hop, you know what I'm saying, principles, so to speak.
Sure.
Right. I mean, even with this whole legal battle that he has going on,
right?
Him saying that he has more ink in his pen, so somebody can say something that you can sue him about. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you write something and they respond back and you don't like it, and you feel like the record label they're trying to come against you, and then you create another lawsuit, that's not hip hop at all.
In my mind, I'm thinking to myself, bro, you have everything that you need as a pop star, which we've called you from episode number 1. You have everything that you need. So even if you're coming off this battle where you got spanked, Super Bowl, all this type of stuff, the fact that it still bothers him so much is just weird to me, because you have the world. You're a pop star and you're Teflon.
We just told you though.
Yeah, but this is the thing. Like
I know it's ego, but what I'm saying is
ego is because he wants to be seen as the face of hip hop. He's not seen as the face of hip hop.
He wants to be on that same situation. Like when we say Biggie, Jay-Z, and Nas, he wants to be in that conversation.
But you don't have the authenticity for that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
what he's
that's
wanting?
probably at the end of the day what kind of bugs him. The fact that like we see him as a songwriter, we see him as a performer, you know what I'm saying? He does his thing in his concerts. We 100%. See him as a star, somebody who generates a lot of money.
For sure.
But the thing is, for all that, when we talk about the greatest MCs to have ever lived, we don't talk about Drake. I don't. The people that he respects, like they don't put him in those conversations. And I think part of what, a little bit of what we talked about with the corniness, the fact that like Kendrick came through and whooped his ass. I'm sorry, that's just what it is. And then
Drake has some shit in that battle.
He did. I'm not gonna front on him. He had some shit.
He did.
But Kendrick still smoked.
But like whooped that ass though. When Not Like Us showed up, I forgot about all the rest of that other shit.
Yeah.
And
Family Matters was hard though.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna hold you. That was hard.
But there's a situation to where, especially when you see how exalted, if you will, Kendrick is. And then you see like that is your main competition, and you see they mention Kendrick with the greats. We've mentioned him with the greats. And when we talk about Drake, we talk about his sales, his ability to do certain things, the way he's able to.
He can make hits.
We talk about his metrics, but his metrics are not what would put him on anybody's Rushmore.
I have a question, right? Mm-hmm. So just tell me what you all think as it relates to coming off the battle, coming off everything leading up to Iceman and whatever the Calypso albums are, the 2 Calypso albums.
Calypso, damn.
Yeah.
It wasn't that.
I'm sorry.
Iceman was actually not bad. I ain't gonna sit on there in front. It's not as good as some people are giving it credit for.
It's okay.
But his rapping on there is good.
Like if he started off the album super strong, I was like, oh, we about to get into something.
But here's what I want to discuss. If based off that project, leaning into whatever this next phase will be, can you honestly say that his fans may have been swayed somewhat against what the next move may be based off this rollout?
No,
or is he still Teflon and they don't care?
His fans don't care nothing about that. Again,
are you sure there's no fans that are swayed?
First of all,
I think there's a pocket of fans that may have been swayed.
Not at all.
Off this showing.
No, he put out that.
I don't think it matters.
Took a pill in Ibiza on a boat album.
Habibi, whatever.
All right.
No, this is the one he put out. Yeah, it was the whole dance trance album or whatever he did.
So maybe it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Like Drake fans are going to show for whatever he does.
Right.
Okay, never mind. Was the name of that one?
Say he does a full rapidy rap album where he's talking about stars, quasars, and metaphors and all this other shit. Like they're going to show up for that, and then they'll be like, "See, look at that." Even if it sucks,
he can do Kendrick shit. It might not even apply to Kendrick type of verses.
I think Lone is right.
He could do a whole album with DJ Premier.
Oh, he said he doesn't care.
Oh, he doesn't care. But did you say it doesn't matter, or did you both?
I don't care, and it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I thought you said both. Yeah,
I said it doesn't matter essentially because his fans are going to rock with him regardless. Again, a lot of his fans. He has a lot, but there is a pocket of fans that come from an upbringing adjacent to his, and I'm gonna just leave it at that.
I think Lone. Now that I think about it, it's pretty much par for the course at this point. No matter what,
nothing changed.
Yeah, I thought about it because I thought because I would see people say, "Oh man,
I don't care about people, man." You know what I mean? Like people are always gonna like say shit, but it's just like,
I wish we could find every time you say I don't care about people and just
I know, right?
Yeah, that'd be funny.
I'm just saying, but I think now that I think about it,
because like arguing about like, all right, well, some of his fans, well, yeah, of course, some people like some things, you know,
like even after the battle,
it's like
that's a good point.
There are not people who really are into Drake. It's not like you said. Everybody, Kendrick fans knocked on the door, and be like, hey, let me get them Drake CDs.
No, that Lone, I'm with you, Lone, because the majority is still going to be the majority, no matter.
Yeah,
you're always going to have a pocket of whatever, but
the thing is I don't even care.
Yeah,
I know that, but I'm saying
like, I don't care because like I know that all the people that I associate with, all the people whose tastes that I respect, agree with me.
Okay, that's fair.
You know what I mean? And that's not even saying that you don't like a Drake song.
Sure, that's fair. Sure. That's fair.
It's just like, and like we have this commonality. I feel like sometimes we're fishing for like ways to make Drake more credible or to bring him back into the fold. Like to me, until he does something notable, I don't think we talk. Why should we talk about him?
Yeah.
What's the point?
Look, because I'm gonna be real.
Okay.
He put out 3 albums, and I haven't gone back to any of those albums since we talked about them. Like I wanted to be real about my opinions, but it's like there's nothing that's made me say, okay, I'm going to go back.
I'm going to tell you how crazy.
Now, mind you, I'm not in the clubs anymore.
I'm going to tell you how crazy his fan base is, though. So he has a fan base of people that have created, it's either a Discord or a channel somewhere, I don't know. Anyway, their main purpose is to get his numbers up.
Yeah.
Make sure you're streaming this all the time. Do like this, do that. It's like
so losers.
I mean that's loser behavior.
Yeah, if you want to call it that, that's cool.
There's a lot of
weird
people.
Parasocial.
Yes. It's very weird. It's like, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
I mean, either it's good or it's not.
It's not like he's like this person out here that's got this great message that people need to tap into. It's not like it's like a politician that's trying to I don't know, give people health care. It's Drake.
Yeah. Who's from Canada?
Yeah.
He got his health care.
Yeah,
for free.
Like he's not doing anything
for you. He had a song
man.
called for free.
Oh, I don't know, man.
Where he talked some shit about Kendrick on that shit too.
Lone, I think you swayed me, bro. I think you did because at the end of the day, it is what it is. I think you swayed me, bro. I think you did.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Drake is going to do what Drake is going to do. He's at the point of his career where it doesn't matter what he does, whether somebody disagrees with it or not, it's still going to be beneficial to him. Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, I mean, either
you like it or not.
Good for him. Yeah. I have, and the thing is, with all this being said, I have no issues with him going on and
I don't either.
The Nelk Boys and getting a hall pass from Lena Rhodes or whomever.
I mean, she everybody
and
talk to him.
The golf girl stuff and all that. Like, cool, man. I don't care. Like, that's cool. Yeah. I have no issues with it. I just don't. It's
not important.
Imagine Kendrick did that. I'm just saying.
No, that's real. That's real.
Like,
Kendrick got her being a family man.
Imagine Black Thought did that. Imagine Redman did that.
That's real.
Imagine, it just doesn't make sense. Maybe Redman would do it, but like,
he might be the one.
But I'm just saying.
Maybe.
But I'm just saying, like, it would be like a joke.
Mm-hmm. It wouldn't be serious, but I mean, Drake was serious about this shit.
Yeah. Anyways,
you are now listening or watching the New Old Heads podcast. Our official 1-hour episode is released every Saturday at noon Eastern, where we share our exclusive uncut 2-hour episode to our YouTube members and Patreon members early every Wednesday. The show is brought to you by Coleman Dental, Indie City and Vinyl, Decademics, and Bringing Down the Band. And most importantly, you. You can support the show directly by becoming a member at patreon.com/newoldheads, where we embrace the new, respect the old, and remain ahead.
Curtis King has found the best argument against AI. So the California-based rapper, producer, and media personality Curtis King recently dropped a video discussing what he feels people are missing when artists talk about AI. So let's watch this video, and I got a couple questions.
Thomas says something that really had me thinking. And it's more so about those who feel like they are on equal playing field as an artist because of their ability to type out and describe what they want via prompting. He made one of the most solid arguments that I've heard about this and how the actual music creation process really goes versus those who are relying upon generative AI music. Pete.
That's probably why I'm not really interested in the creative usage of artificial intelligence for many reasons, but the main one probably is because it goes through a verbal expression, which is prompting. My relationship to creation and my relationship to art is mostly happening at a deeper level, which does not express itself through words.
Ooh, let me break it down. Let me break it down. If I never made beats for like my audience that comes and watch me make music on this channel, I have a series called Flowcation. If I never made beats, nigga, I wouldn't talk the entire time I make music. Not once do I sit down here by myself and say, crack, crack, crack. What music am I going to make today? I'd like to make some Just Blaze inspired drums. I'd like to have it be a Kanye Westish type of sample. And then from there, I'd like to make sure that it has a very warm analog feeling to it. These decisions are made one after one, sometimes not knowing where the hell you're going. Sometimes as a byproduct of frustration of not knowing where it's going. That's the creative process. That's the part we like.
True.
Yeah. Man.
So I just thought about this. And shout out to Thomas is a member of Daft Punk, by the way.
One of the guys with the mask.
Yeah, 100%. Before I ask this first question, I want to kind of pivot a bit and see what you all think about the actual comments and what Curtis said before I jump into this first question, because the first question I have is more of a pivot. So what do you guys think about what you just saw with that video overall? Jay, what you think? Terry, whoever want to jump in first.
To me, prompting is just, it's not a creative process. You're a project manager.
Okay.
That's all that is.
Damn. Mm-hmm.
When you sit out there and you say, all right, hey, I need you to build me this. I need you to do this and do this. And then you gets back to you and be like, all right, actually, I don't want you to do that. Let's reinforce these ideas. Let's do this here and do this here and do this here. Cool. Let's organize this stuff. That's all it is. You're not a creative person. You're a project manager. And there's nothing wrong with that, except for everything that is wrong with it.
What you think, Jay? Jump in.
Well, that's some game right there, actually.
No, that's game. That's game for sure. What you think, Jay?
No, I think keeps things from happening organically. You know, when you're talking about, okay, I'm going to have this warm feel from this synth, or I'm going to have this from this particular sample, the way I chopped it may not be filtered correctly, or I'm going to have to make that filter, or it's something that I can only do so much with because I pulled it off of a record that was a little dirty.
Yeah.
You know, when I was going through my sampling process, those are things that happen in an organic, creative,
unpredictable.
It's unpredictable.
Yeah.
And like, if you can go in and say, oh, I want there to be a record scratch under, you know, the beat because that would make it seem more authentic. And then I want to have
versus going to get top speed.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, okay, if you, like you said, I think the calling it being a project manager is probably the best way I've heard someone say make. And I'm not even saying this making an argument against, but it's the difference between people, especially, you know, we got a couple of producers here who know maybe sometimes some of their coolest ideas or the things that have come to the forefront of their creative process have actually come from mistakes or something that they didn't mean to happen.
And why that makes the most sense, though, is because a project manager isn't necessarily doing the work.
Yeah.
They're sending it to other people. Mm-hmm. They're creating it and sending it back to the project manager, and he's approving it.
Yeah.
So, like, honestly, I've never seen anybody address it or put it in that, you know what I'm saying, that form. That makes 100% sense.
I think the concept of the project manager is perfect because that person delegates. They get all the instructions or whatever they need to do.
That's what I just said.
No, what I'm saying is I'm telling you, I'm giving you a piece. They delegate, right? They delegate. But what jumped out to me is the part about where Curtis says the flaws in the process, what we get frustrated about. That goes into all of it. To me, that's
not human. You're not touching it.
Thank you, bro. Like that part where it's like, I gotta step away for the night. I'll come back tomorrow and try to like that. Those are the things that we love. When he said we love that, I felt that when he said that because it's a part of the creative process. It's never going to be. Every once in a while, you can sit down and make, and Lone can speak to this. You can sit down and make a beat in 45 minutes or a half hour and be like, yeah, that mug is that mug. I'm gonna go ahead and step away and it's cool. But there is that beat where it's like, you have to play it the next day to make sure it was as good as you thought it was the night before. And that's the part that we love. We have to tweak and refine everything to make it what we want. And to me, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of creativity in the process. So I agree with him 100% on that.
But I would say even further, it's very rare that I sit down to make something with a prompt in mind.
No, 100%. I agree.
I very rarely, like even, yesterday I made something for Fox, right? I was like, all right, Fox put this thing out there. He wants beats. I was like, all right, what do I want to make? All right, maybe I'll just sample something today. Right. And so I picked a sample and then I chopped it up and I just let it kind of go where it was going. And then I finished it. And there was no point in that process where I got to the end to where I was like, man, I really like this, but this isn't exactly what, Fox wants, so I'm not going to re-prompt this. I'm just going to finish this beat in the fact, in the way that it's going, and then I'm going to lean into it based upon the previous thing and continue to lean into it in different types of ways. But like, I almost very rarely do I sit down and try to make something specific. I just sit and just let the creativity come out. There's no planned thought. It's just the creativity, all of that years and decades of work of creativity of being able to make something is unconscious at this point because I've been doing it so long. So I don't have to think about it. I don't want to think when I'm creating.
Right. And I think, Lone, too, I think a part of that is you have had Fox's example, but you've had situations where someone says, Lone, I want to see if you can make this.
Sure.
Right?
Type beat
type stuff. You see that on YouTube all the time. But at the same point, I know you. We cut from the same cloth. Even when I sit down and I'm saying, okay, said person said type beat. I'm not sitting down thinking, okay, I have to make sure that said person is happy about type beat.
Sure.
When I sit down, it's going to be my version and my creation based off whatever type beats criteria was.
Exactly.
I'm not about to pivot away from, you see what I'm saying?
Yep. And you can't do that from prompting.
There you go. That's it. Like we know what that feeling is like. Yeah, okay. Here's the criteria, but it's my version of what you've presented me. And I think that's what get lost with AI, because AI is plug and play.
Mm-hmm. There's no soul.
There's no soul.
There's no soul behind AI.
There's no soul. So
or it's using somebody else's soul.
Yeah, 100%, bro.
So it's artificial.
You don't want to be using somebody else's soul.
Yeah.
Nah, that ain't.
That's a little dirty.
As a creative and as people that are outside of producing, just creatives in general, that ain't the play, bro.
How you gonna borrow somebody's soul?
Come on, man. It's not authentic.
A thriller would never be created with AI.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Like it's like a lot of this shit. Earth, Wind, and Fire would not exist without if AI was around.
Yeah, that goes to a whole other bunch of
arguments. We could go down that rabbit hole.
These are just a few. Like there has to be not that it's the soul genre, but there has to be soul involved in the music that's being created.
No, for sure.
Well, no, because there's always been this thing where we're like, okay, we want to sound like ourselves and not like whatever's popping right now.
Yeah.
And that's what's moved music forward. That's
the only way it can move
it's
forward.
The only way you want. It's the only way it can move forward. But like with AI, since it can't create anything on its own, it has to take bits and pieces from things that have already existed.
Yeah.
And I think, because we had somebody kind of, I don't want to say criticize, but they want to talk about like why AI is bad.
Or why we're not educated.
Or
yeah.
But because AI can't create anything on its own, if we have a majority of artists who are using AI to write, using AI to produce, using AI to arrange,
right,
we're never going to move forward because we're only using things that already exist. And we're only prompting like, could you do it like this? Do it like, make me some thriller type beats, or make me something that sounds like Purple Rain, or something that sounds like Late Registration. You're not going to be able to move forward if we're just doing things that sound like something else.
Yeah. So I had a question. I just wanted to pivot because I wanted to get that part out because I know that's a good conversation. But I was in a meeting, company-wide meeting, and they were talking about, this is, related to work, and they were talking about the experiences of AI and how great AI is, and the tool is helping the company and it's profitable and all that type of stuff. So the question I wanted to ask is, because I never thought about the other side, why is it that larger companies that use AI don't seem to be as passionate as musicians are about the dangers that come with using the tool?
That's easy.
I'm like
capitalism.
Yeah.
I knew you was gonna say capitalism.
It's different. Like if I'm using AI to go through my emails and create meetings and to aggregate information so we can do that in a more efficient way. Okay, that's different than using AI to take shortcuts in the creative process of creating music, movies, whatever. Like I know there are definite ways to use AI, and it makes sense as far as what the business world is concerned.
For sure.
Like if you're a lawyer and you're helping ChatGPT to help you write a brief.
Yeah.
And, instead of taking a couple hours to write a brief, and you can summarize and make sure everything's done and it's done in 15 minutes, that is an effective use of your time as far as business is concerned.
Right.
But if you're talking, like I said, if you're talking about, I need this AI to help me write a song, that's completely different.
Can I play devil's advocate?
Capitalism is soulless.
100%. Can I play devil's advocate?
Okay.
Lone, correct me if I'm wrong. You just tell me the truth. So based off what Jay Moore just said about the initial question, that initial question, right? Does that mean that the people in the larger companies or corporations are not as passionate about their craft as it relates to, is it more about financial gain? Could an argument be made that they're not as passionate about their craft?
It's a better use of their time.
Because they're more focused on.
Who's passionate about selling cars?
Yeah.
I mean, it might be.
Some people
that's
are.
what I'm asking.
Some people
because
are.
I feel like the company.
I'm just saying, like that. It's a different type of passion. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
The passion is always rooted in how much can I obtain and how, or maybe they're really good at it, or something like that. But like, it's a different type of passion when you're talking about something that you build.
So is it fair enough to say that the musicians or artists or creatives are closer to their craft?
Yes.
as it relates to the comparison 100%. Between companies or Fortune 500 companies that use it. That's where I'm trying to get to.
I think the question is wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the main issue that I have here is, look, people can be passionate about whatever they want to be passionate about. There's nothing wrong with being passionate about painting or,
right,
changing light bulbs and coals or whatever the hell that you think that you're good at. Whatever you want to be good at, that you're good at, that's great.
Right.
The problem is that AI companies are utilizing AI for a handful of reasons, and the main reasons is because it eliminates workforce. And when you eliminate workforce, you create larger bottom lines. And when you create larger bottom lines, it's more money for the shareholders and it's more money for the people up top. And you can gain more money from that. And then people can either continue that business or cash out of that business and then do the same thing with another business.
Mm-hmm. Optimization.
And this is fundamentally the problem with AI if there aren't safeguards in place to help people, because we can see people, when truck drivers no longer have to drive trucks because it's all AI trucks, because one person can hop in a console that is made by a company and they can park the truck, but while 7 other trucks are driving down the road, they just hop from one console and be like, all right, here's this one's getting ready to park. Let me hop in this one and do. You can eliminate 7 to 10 truck drivers or whatever. This is happening in every industry, and it's going to continually get worse. And if there are no safeguards in place for people that need to breathe, eat, live, go to the doctor, if those things don't exist, if our society is not set up in a way to where we actually care about the people,
right,
then AI is a bad thing, because it is taking jobs and is continually taking jobs. And it's not just creative, and it's not just, I use it for project management stuff.
Yeah,
I was saying that, sure. I do, but there could be an argument for you can hire somebody to do this job, right?
Good point.
Sure, I'm not going to hire somebody. I never was, because I would just do it myself anyways. But once you get up to the higher levels to where you start seeing people, and we start seeing the labor force seriously affected, and people's material conditions really start to get worse, that's where this problem comes. I don't think it's about necessarily passion with the AI. People in corporations and in big companies and things of that nature, they're utilizing AI for the bottom line, full stop.
Look, see, that's why I asked that question, because I think you answered it perfect.
That's what it is.
Yeah, that's a great description for sure.
AI is just the latest tool,
right?
As far as
that's very true.
What some people in corporate America would call cutting salaries.
Mm.
Once again, for the people who like to say, "Oh, Jay Moore always likes to bring up when he was in radio." I'm going to bring it up again.
That's a favorite.
What is it you say you do here?
Yeah,
that's that's one of the favorites in the comments now.
But I'll never forget when I first got to. I was working at Clear Channel. It was iHeartRadio now, and that's when this thing called voice tracking just showed up. Mm-hmm. And what it was is you could go in and all the songs would be in the system, and you could record your voice as far as the breaks.
Yeah.
And you could, do the announcements and read the liners and everything, and you wouldn't have to be there. So at one point, I was doing overnights, which was I was working from 12 until 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning when the morning show started. Well, then it got to a point where they're like, "Oh, well, you can just voice track it." So instead of paying me for the 5 or 6 hours, I got paid for the 1 hour it took me to voice track,
to record all that. Yeah,
and then and so now. And someone who's sitting in Indianapolis, if they've been contracted to do so, they could be the afternoon, voice in 5 other cities, and they pay them a fraction of what they'd pay an actual person to sit and run the board and be on the air. And instead of paying 5 or 6 people in those cities and making sure that they have health care.
Because our health care is tied to our job.
Tied to our jobs. You only have to pay one person, and that one person is the voice of the midday in 6 different markets.
You know what's crazy is,
if not more than that.
You know what's crazy? It's a concept of, you can simplify. Like, I remember Walmart, back at the crib where we grew up at. It's like, at one point it was tellers, not tellers, but I'm sorry, checkout cashiers. Then the next thing you know, it's like there's a automatic checkout section, and then that started to grow, and now it's to the point where I've been to Walmart before recently, and it's like there's probably 3 or 4 cashiers. They got 25 aisles, and everything is automated.
See, you can't see my receipt. You can't see my receipt.
To cut down the cost because
I do my job.
There you go. Because it's like I don't have to hire 12 kids to do this because we got the automated joint. And we got 3 or 4 people.
And so here the issue is not the tech. It's not the improvement of processes.
Mm-hmm.
The issue is the fact that the way that this country is set up and the way that our world is set up through capitalism to where like we don't value the labor and like we're in this oligarchy because there aren't protections in place. These type of improvements harm labor and people. And until we have those protections in place, it's always going to be that way. And so we have to be very self-conscious about like how things improve and how this stuff moves.
I got you. And also, jump in, Terry.
Yeah, that's very true. Everything that y'all have said up to this point is very true. But the difference in AI and music is, regardless if a company has it in for you as being an employer or they want to eliminate employees altogether, at the end of the day, it's optimization.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to make sure that they're getting the most out of the work day versus a musician is here for the feel. This is, you know what I'm saying? This is something out of me. This is actual soul. This is what I'm giving you. This is, you know what I'm saying, what I created. Being creative versus running a company isn't the same thing. It doesn't align the same way.
Different sides of the brain.
Right. Yeah. AI is different. I can understand why it helps a corporation.
For sure.
In some cases, how it helps a musician, but AI could never totally just consume a musician to where I'm only using AI to create my music.
Yeah.
That point blank period.
And shouts to my homie Nico Flores. He stopped by Academics. I talked to him and he asked me some questions on AI yesterday and he was like, you know, where do you draw the line at? Things of that nature. Have you seen any students that are just like super into it and stuff like that? And I was like, not yet. But you know, he asked me about some of the tools and I'm like, well, the tools are cool as long as they assist the person making the thing.
They're still being creative with it.
Yeah. Like if there's a, you know, I think about it like in like Ableton Live, right? There's a lot of stuff that's built into it.
True.
There's a lot of VSTs. The difference between a VST and a lot of these stock programs is the graphic interface. You could say that the graphic interface is an improvement of a tool, right? And you know, some, and you know, Jackson knows this too. You know this. And sometimes and probably Serato as well. You know, like sometimes it'll be a visual. Like sometimes you'll see a filter, right?
Yeah.
And it'll just be like, you'll see the bands, and there won't be any visual description. But then, you know, they improve and now you have a visual description of everything that you're doing as well.
Yeah.
That is a tool improving. Just in the same way, if there's a tool within, I don't know, Arturia to where it says like, where you can type in and be like, hey, find me a preset that sounds like this and this and this and then this. And then it gives it to you.
Yeah.
To me, that's a tool that kind of makes sense.
Because the optimization isn't the soul of the product.
Yeah.
The optimization that you're using with AI with that is to help aid you in creating the final project.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I think it's better to understand how to know how to manipulate a synthesizer, but I'm not mad at the tool because the tool is no different than just scrolling through presets.
There you go.
You know what I mean? And you know, like people are going to use MIDI chord packs, sure, but you know, it's not deriving like chords of existence since the beginning of time. You know, like it's not like you're reinventing the wheel. You know what I mean?
So I think Terry's point about when you're talking about the difference too, I wanted to highlight that because the operative word for me is attachment. I think artists that are music artists are attached more just from a standpoint of this is my baby. This is what I've created. This is what I've worked on. And I think that goes into it versus the bottom line argument.
An actual musician.
There you go. Yeah, because at the end of the day, company is about the bottom line. Creative is about, this shit feels good, and then we'll see what happens when we, do X, Y, Z. So
it goes into kind of the legacy conversation we were having last week. Like there was a time where I did want to.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Well, there was a point in time where it's like, you'll hear somebody say, there's a way to maybe make money off of everything you do. But, not everything you do has to make money.
Yeah,
it's fair.
And
that's fair.
You know, I've completely flipped on that. Like there's certain things I do now that I don't do for money. I do just because it's a cool creative outlet, and I want to do cool things.
Right.
And there's not a platform or there's not a thing that exists to where I can make money. Like I like redoing scores of movies that exist. I like redoing intros and stuff. I can barely upload them sometimes, you know, without it getting blocked.
I feel you.
I'm still gonna do it because I like doing it. You know,
that goes to that speaks to what we talk about as it relates to the difference because of the passion. That's why I use passion in the questioning, but the attachment. It's like, yo, I'm still about to put this out because I know what I put into it.
Yeah.
And there's somebody somewhere that's gonna be like, yo, this shit is crazy. If I can get it uploaded.
Sure.
And then it circles back around to the legacy argument. It's like, it's out there. Like, and then, you know, it'll be out there and people can watch it for whatever. So I don't know, man. It's just I wanted to go the opposite route because we always talk about AI as it relates to music, but we never talk about it, you know, from a corporate standpoint.
I mean, we use AI on the show.
We do.
You know what I'm saying? But the difference is there are people that are infiltrating the music business that want to solely rely on AI.
Agreed.
So they may not have had any passion whatsoever for music, but they seen a money in a capitalistic vision.
They're just trying to hit a lick.
They're trying to hit a lick. They know that they can use the AI in order to do that.
Yeah.
So it's completely different to me as far as how you would position AI musically versus corporation wise.
Yep.
No, I agree.
Hey man, I had AI build me a script so that it can pull in all of our statistics so we can check it and see how things are going.
And I think that's great, my friend.
That's just, you know, that way I don't have to manually do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so,
optimization.
So that's the key word. That's why
there's no soul in your spreadsheets.
Exactly. Thank you.
There's not, but I have some cool colors, but you're right.
Yeah.
And that's a bar right there.
And that's to help me aid my soul in notifying or recognizing what's going on.
Yeah, but when Curtis King talked about give me a Just Blaze this or a Just Blaze, that's the other side of it where it's like, come on, man. We got to be better
Give me
a
5/4 pattern with a swing like a Jay Dilla if his brother was Freddie Mercury.
There you go. Come on, man. That to me, that's completely different.
And then put it out like, I created this.
There you go.
No, you just thought about some shit.
And somebody,
I don't know, man.
And then when somebody asks you about your creative process, you're like, well, I just told the computer what I
wanted to do.
Some people just think that what I just said was really creative.
Oh, in terms of how you broke.
I just freestyled stuff off the top, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
makes sense to me. You know, but
I'm just saying, like, some people are making that argument. Like, no, that's super creative. I was like,
that's incredible.
Okay, man.
No, it's not.
All right.
It's just really not at all.
This is just how my brain works. I'm just weird. So
you're a project manager.
Yeah, I'm a good project manager.
You're a project manager. Yeah. Shout out to Thomas from Daft Punk because, man, he broke that mug down. And shout out to Curtis too because Curtis can relate. Like
Curtis has been
he's in the space
out front. He's been out front on this.
Yeah, he's in the space, and for him to be able to vouch and say this is one of the best ones he's seen, and then after I watched the video, I'm like, yeah, we gotta talk about this because he hit the nail on the head.
And what's crazy is, dude being from Daft Punk, you know, Daft Punk always has the mask on. The helmet, and you would identify them as futuristic.
Yeah.
And this is not one point of futuristic that they want to acknowledge or be associated with being musical.
Come on. That's everything else has been.
Daft Punk are rule breakers,
yes.
man.
Yes.
Yeah. NewOldHeads.com for all the education you need this year. If you see it, like it, subscribe, hit any bell for notifications, give us a like, 5-star ratings, and also do not forget to check out our Patreon where you can get the full unedited episodes. That's where all the great stuff happens. We appreciate your support, and we'll see y'all next week. Peace.
Yeah, in a minute. Shout out to Gay Dexter.